And before we get started, go ahead and grab whatever oil you have closest to you. I grabbed frankincense and I'm gonna put that in my palms, rub it around like this, cup it over my nose and breathe deeply 3 times. I love frankincense right now. I'm addicted to it. Okay, and next I have this Mega Abundance Roller. So, quick funny story, I bought this from Amazon thinking that it was like a roller similar to the one we got from ordering on convention day, like this. So I was trying to recreate this awesome roller. So I bought these mega rollers, and when they arrived, I realized that they were like way bigger than I expected. And so at first I was thinking, I'll just put like a stain stick in it or something like that. And then I'm like, why wouldn't I just use this for oils? So I dumped an entire bottle of Abundance on here, and then I put the weird texture of it is the frankincense resin. So I've literally been using this since convention, and I feel like something magical is happening in here, like the Abundance oil, because it just literally keeps lasting. Hi, Whitney! Oh my gosh, this is so fun. So here's how I use it, and it's kind of funny because it's literally so massive, but I roll it on my wrists, and then I typically always get like these little resin blocks. It's just so funny. And then I put it in my hair, because if you aren't using your hair as like your built-in diffuser, like, look how hysterical that is. You can literally see the texture. All right, let's dive right in. So yeah, let me introduce this little chick. This is Avalon. She's a month old. And I have 3 other children, ages 6, 4, and 2. And so currently our household is pretty crazy because we have Avalon, who's obviously an infant. We have a potty training baby, the 2-year-old. My husband is currently running around the house chasing him and my little son in his naked butt to make sure he can try to poop in the potty. My 4-year-old is just the sweetest little girl. We have 2 boys and 2 girls. And then my 6-year-old, we've been working on homeschool because we're homeschooling like everybody else in the United States right now. So we're homeschooling him in 1st grade. It just seems to be, I feel like, and everyone's in the same place, seems to be kind of crazy times, but we're having a blast with it. And yeah, I want to dive in though and share a little bit of my story. So I started Young Living as a business 6 years ago, a little bit over 6 years ago, and my son was just a few days old. So until that point, I had purchased the oils, and I had the oils like many of us. I thought, yeah, they're cool, they're cute. Like, I'll use them to put in my deodorant, or I'll use them to put make my own, like, I don't know, toothpaste. But I wasn't yet like sold out to the idea that they were amazing and that they had power until I had a baby. And so I was 4 days into motherhood. I was sitting on the floor of my living room, and I remember looking at this sweet little baby and going, oh my gosh, like, I don't know how to support his body. I had just gotten a call from the doctor's office, the hospital, and the nurse said, hey, we need you to come back for lab work. So reason. I was like, okay. So I Googled my issue, and I found like this like essential oils for like Pinterest post, and like obviously totally non-compliant. Like, I can't share here what it was, but I just tried it. Like, I just put some oils on him, and people always ask me like, okay, what are the exact drops? And I don't even remember. Like, literally I was just like, okay, I'm gonna dump some oils on here. And when I put it on his feet and on the back of his spine at 3 days old, that was the moment for me that I realized that these oils had power, because I actually saw a change for him. And my jaw was on the floor. My mom's jaw was on the floor. We were both like, oh my gosh, like, that actually really worked. And for me, I had already been using oils for a year. So you got to realize, like, I almost went inactive. Like, I was that person that's sitting in your downline that's like, yeah, they're fine, they're cute, but I don't think I need them every month, and I'm definitely not going to get on Essential Rewards, or, you know, I was just not into it in the way that I am now, because I didn't understand they have power. I saw them as cute fragrances that just so happened to be what I was told was top of the line, and I hadn't yet had that experience. And so that for me was a line in the sand to realize, oh my gosh, these have power. And that is what shifted for me in the ability to be able to say, I could actually put my social collateral on the line and go and tell people in my life about these oils. So before that, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely not going to have a class, definitely not going to have a party in my home, definitely not going to hound people into my living room just so I can hope to make $50. Like, I knew there was money involved, but I was like, yeah, I don't want to risk my social collateral for these cute little scents. And then when I had that line in the sand, that moment with my son where I realized that they were powerful, I got to take a step over that line and say, okay, wow, I know people who need this. I know my mom who needs this. I know my mother-in-law who needs this. I know my husband who needs this. And I started thinking about everyone in my life. And at that time, I had this big reference book that had all these protocols and stuff. And I would look through that book and find protocols, and I would think of people that I knew. And I thought, gosh, if these oils really work the way that they just worked for me, I feel like it would be really selfish of me not to share that information. And what's funny is, like, my human brain started popping up. And let me explain what the human brain is. The human brain is right before you go live in a group of 30,000 people, the human brain says, I wonder how I'm going to look. I wonder how I'm going to appear. I wonder if people are going to like me. That human brain that I have right before I go live in 12 Days of Diamonds is the same human brain that I had 6 years ago when I'm like, but what if they don't show up to my class? Or what if they don't like what I say? Or what if they think I'm just trying to sell them something? Or what if, and you fill in the blank with this human brain, and it's not in contribution, it's in a question of, the question is, am I significant? Not, how can I contribute? When I ask the question, how can I contribute? It says, you know what? So what if the baby wakes up and cries and they think I don't have my life together? Because guess what? I don't. So what if, whatever, my daughter comes and bangs on the door and says that the chickens are out? So what if, whatever, I'm not here asking the question, am I significant? And if I am, that's not going to last a very long time. I need to be asking the question, how can I contribute? You know what? Maybe I have something that could change the trajectory of your life. And if I get in my human brain and I ask myself that and I don't go live, then what happens is I miss out on the potential opportunity to share something that could help. Same thing 6 years ago. Wherever you're at in your journey, maybe you're me 6 years ago, where your human brain is asking the questions, what if people think I'm weird? What if people think I'm salesy? What if people mute me on Insta story because they think my DIY mega roller is annoying? What if? Those questions are asking, actually, am I significant? They're not saying, how can I contribute? If you can get that shift, your life will change, not just in Young Living, but in literally everything, okay? So that is the first thing for me that I realized. So once I got out of the human brain and I realized, like, hey, you know what? First of all, haters don't pay my bills. Second of all, I need something to do in my life. I was so bored. My days were spent cleaning my kitchen, doing my laundry, walking to the thrift store, like changing diapers, and being up nursing in the night. That's what I was doing, and I was so bored. And I was like, I need something. I need something that's a vehicle that's going to take me from the mom that I am to the mom that I want to be, from the wife that I am to the wife that I want to be, to the provider that I am to the provider I want to be, from the whatever it is. I recognize that this business got me out of my human brain and into contribution, which then is going to take me where I want to go as a person, as a human being. It's going to take me to a place of contribution. Okay, that put the business in a whole new perspective for me. So all of a sudden I started falling in love with this personal development, this mindset of personal development. I was like, I want a piece of that pie. And it was a long story how I came to it. So many elements and so many facets that I'm not going to go into today, that I'll tell you is nothing more than, in my soul, I knew that I had to do this. I had to make the decision to step out. It was so scary. I remember my first class. So Jordan Strant enrolled me, if you know her. She's a Royal Crown Diamond in Young Living. She's an amazing educator. And she had this call-in class that was bomb. I mean, it was amazing. It was like, you could put anyone on that call and they would be convinced to buy oils, right? So I'm like, okay, I got to do that. I got to figure out how to do that. Thinking to myself, I'm a terrible salesman. I know nothing about oils. I literally just have used lavender on my son. That's all I've done. And I've used some, to make homemade products. So I called in this class. Literally, you guys, word for word. Hey, Laura. Word for word, I typed up like what she said. And then I scheduled a class and I went and invited like 100 people. And it wasn't like a mass invite. It was like I personally messaged 100 people and said, hey, I'm doing this thing. I'd love for you to call into this class at 7. I'm going to give away a bottle of peppermint. Like, are you interested? Do you want it? Out of the 100 people that I called, 10 said that they would come, which is pretty industry standard. I didn't know that then. I thought I was really bad. That's pretty industry standard, right? Like you invite 100, you get 10. So 10 said they would come. 3 came, or maybe it was 4 came. Of the 4 that came, one of them enrolled with someone else. One of them was my mom, who we all know did it for me as a favor. One of them was my college roommate who did it for me as a favor. And one of them was my aunt who did it for me as a favor. 3 of the 4 called in late. So if you know anything about free conference call, you're on the call and you're 20 minutes in. And I mean, I know nobody's on the call and I'm just going to teach so that the replay's clear, right? And I'm teaching and then like 5 minutes in, ding, you have 1 participant. And I'm like, my heart sunk. I'm like, now that person knows, like, they're the only one in the call. Like, that is like, as an Enneagram 3, like the worst thing that could happen. Oh my gosh. So then 2 minutes later, ding, you have 2 participants in the call. And I'm like, well, you know what? Now that I've gotten through like the best part of the class, we have 2 participants. I was shaking. My pits were sweating. I was so nervous. And I know many of you can relate because that's like how it goes for us on the first time. We have no idea what we're doing. We're nervous out of our mind. And yeah, we're in our human brain. So anyway, yeah, that was how that class went. No one enrolled that night. 90 days later, I really started finding my groove. Within 90 days, I was obsessing over like YouTube videos, learning from $1 million earners, listening to Eric Worre, listening to people who were doing it and trying to dissect like, what are the things that make them successful and how can I become that way? Because I knew I didn't have it yet. I didn't know the skills. It was like when you start out playing basketball, when I started playing basketball and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm really bad. The only way to get better is to learn. And so, yeah, that was the fun part, just figuring it out. And through the next 6 months, just literally diving deep. I don't have one of those stories that's like every month was better than the last. I actually didn't maintain gold for like 6 months. I didn't maintain platinum for a few months. I didn't maintain diamond for 1 month after. It's like, you know, I've seen it, this long-term mentality. I don't know where this mentality has come from other than just studying the icons of network marketing. I don't know where that kind of like tenacity or strength in my mentality has come from other than just realizing like, I'm not in this to get rich quick. I'm in this to become a better person. I'm in this to become a contributor. And I see this as my 30, 40, 50 year career. I plan to be here that long and I plan to build a legacy business. And so when 1 month or 1 year or 2 years don't happen to peak before, I'm not even phased. I'm not even phased. And I can say that with like joy in my heart because I have fun. I don't know if you can see this on my background. I've got like Santas and Rudolphs and it's like our Team December fun thing. I'm in this for the fun. I'm in this for the person I'm becoming. No one can take that from you. So that's powerful. Okay. All right. So yeah, 6 months in, I was obsessive. 9 months in, 2 years in, 3 years in, obsessive. The first 3 years of my business were an all-out hustle. Truly, I can say that when I started my business, I had a conversation with my husband and I said, hey, I really feel like I need to do this like all in and this is what it looks like. And he was so supportive and he was like, go for it, babe, because he saw me and as a hungry mama, like needing something. So those first 3 years, we had already talked about, I'm going to go all out for 4 years and see what I can create. And my goal is to hit silver by the end of 4 years because I thought it's like a college degree. So if I work for 4 years and if I come out of the 4 years of study with a $1,000+ paycheck, that's winning for me because at the time I was 21 years old. So I kind of forgot to mention that part of my niche of this is that I was so young and I'm 27 now. So 21 years old, no college degree, no sales experience. And I always lay that out there because I think we all have our unique thing that somebody thinks has to be there for you to be successful. Like, oh, like I have to have had college experience. I've had 1 semester of college experience and I loved college, but I didn't want to go into debt, so I didn't return. And I didn't have a way to make money at that. I didn't know. I didn't have the skills that I needed to make money and go to college at the same time. Anyway, long story short, I was really young and hustled in those first 4 years to diamond. And then now we're working to a crown and I'm loving it. And I'm so thankful. I have like the best team ever. I wouldn't trade the people that I get to work with for $1 million. I wouldn't trade them for a royal crown title today. I like literally have some of the most magical people around me working with me. And just shout out to you. If you're on my team, thank you for making this the funnest ride ever. Okay, so 3 things that I see successful people do. I have some notes here. Number 1, successful people in this business consistently expand their network. And I wrote inhabit. They consistently expand their network. What that looks like, and if you didn't watch Chelsea Humphrey's video just like 2 hours ago, go watch that because she actually breaks that down beautifully. And I don't even feel like I need to go in there other than the fact that I feel it's important that we understand it's inhabit. It's not in a spurt. It's not in I think she did a great job explaining this too, but I'll just say in a 10-day period, I could go ballistic and expand my network. But if I don't make it inhabit, it doesn't become a domino effect for the rest of my life. So consistently expanding my network for me looks like always looking for ways to make new friends. You look at the people who are really good at this business and they're people who are champions of other people. Ask yourself this question. Let me ask you this question. Have you ever disliked someone who was a champion of you, who was a fan of you, who praised you, who you got the energy from them that you were awesome? Have you ever disliked someone? So if people buy from people that they know, like, and trust, and we just need to help people like us, the easiest way to do that is to be a champion of other people all the time, shouting them out, cheering for them publicly, figuring out what they want and finding ways to add value in those ways. I'm not talking about selling oils. I'm talking about if you enroll someone who is intentionally working on their Instagram for their business, not a network marketing business, like whatever, like let's just say they are a self-employed shop owner from downtown Lee Summit, and you make a connection with them and they're intentionally trying to grow their social media. The way that you can contribute and be a champion of them isn't like clapping and saying great job. It's sharing their content, tagging them, saying why they're amazing, and try to help them grow. And that's just one little sliver of an example of a strategy that I've been using. Not a strategy like being sleazy, but actually being a champion of other people, actually seeing the value of them, consistently expanding their network. I kind of got a little bit away from that. Okay, number 2, 3 things I see successful people do. Number 2, consistently engage and contribute to their network. So that's kind of where I was going. They consistently engage, and it's almost like they look and they have some sort of either system, either social media keeps the system for them or they do. They're consistently gathering those people and adding value to them, either on a one-to-one basis or a one-to-many basis. What I mean by that is either they're getting coffee, like one-to-one, or they're putting out content that makes them feel good or enrich their lives, a one-to-many basis. In the beginning of my business, a one-to-one basis was necessary, and now I'm moving into a one-to-many basis as I'm learning that skill and as it's different than one-to-one. So figure out where you're at and do that. Number 3 things I see successful people do. Number 3, they choose to be Shakira. Okay, I don't even know much about Shakira. I know there was a lot of hate on the webs about her this last year, 2 years ago. I don't know her at all. All I know is that she sang a song called Try Everything, or whatever it's called, from Secret Life of Pets. So I was having one of those days a while back where I was just like washing dishes. I was overwhelmed with life. I'm like, my children are freaking out in the background. Why am I so overwhelmed? I can't keep everything together. I'm behind on laundry. I'm behind on dishes. I'm behind on everything. I'm behind on my messages. I want to grow my team, but when people actually respond to me, I don't have time to respond back. I'm just like having one of those moments where I was like breaking down. And I'm like, this makes me want to cry because this moment was so pivotal for me. I was like, what's the answer? Like, how can I do it? And in the background, my kids are watching Secret Life of Pets, and this song comes on and says, try everything. And it's like, if you don't succeed, get up, try everything. Like, I actually sort of want to read the lyrics to you. Let's just do this. Let's just go over to my desk real quick. And I'm going to pull it up. And you know how awkward it is when you're trying to read lyrics, but you're not like reading them in the beat of your, of the song. So you're like sort of trying, but it's not. That's probably how this is gonna go, but let's just do it, okay? So Try Everything, song by Shakira, lyrics. I'm gonna read it to you. You can see why this was such a powerful moment for me. Okay, my computer's loading, so please hold. Please hold. Let's do this. Got a little light coming in. Okay, so it starts out saying, I messed up tonight. I lost another fight. I still mess up, but I'll just start again. I keep falling down. I keep on hitting the ground. I always get up now to see what's next. Birds don't just fly. They fall down and get up. Nobody learns without getting it wrong. I won't give up. No, I won't give in till I reach the end, and then I'll start again. No, I won't leave. I want to try everything. I want to try even though I could fail. I won't give up. No, I won't give in till I reach the end, and then I'll start again. I won't leave. I'll try everything. I want to try even though I could fail. Okay, if that's not the Young Living business or like anything in life, I don't know what is. Like, so go listen to that. That's my crown song. And every time I start getting like, oh man, I'm like, wish I was farther along. Okay, no, stop. Don't let myself go there. I won't give up. I won't give in, and I'll try again. And that's just as simple as it is. It's so awesome. So, and so here's the thing with number 3. Taking ownership of that decision. I won't get up. I won't give in. I'm not looking at my upline thinking they're not providing me what I want. I'm not looking at my downline thinking they're not producing what I want. I'm taking ownership for my production. I have a little sticky note on my computer right here, and it says how I show up. I will show up vulnerably. I will show up consistently. Those are my rules for myself. I, not my team, not how many people are on Zoom that night, how many people commented on my post. No, I will show up vulnerably. I will show up consistently. So the ownership that I have and the ownership that you can create in yourself is something that no one can take from you. That is your most magical superpower that you have. So commit to this thing. It's not I'll see how it goes. I'll see like if I put myself out there, how it's responded to. I'll see, of course we're going to look at that, but it's not going to be a determining factor on if we're going to continue on. This business will not be successful unless you personally take that ownership and you say, I will create in my team the culture I want. I will create by showing up what I want, and I'll do it as long as it needs to happen because I've committed at a level that is only explained by it's in my soul. So if you can do that, no one will be able to stop you. If you can do that, no one will be able to stop you. All right. So I told you I was going to give you my story, 3 things that I see successful people to do. And then the last one is one mindset in which they do it. And the mindset is they play full out. They don't withhold energy. They don't withhold love, gratitude. They play full out. They're the ones sitting on the front row at the event, taking the notes. This is who I want to be. The person that I want to be is the person on the front row taking vigorous notes, showing up first, getting excited, ready to play when it doesn't feel good. There are those times. I want to preface this by saying like there's a time to take time back. There's a time to have maternity leave if you need that. You know, I had like several weeks where I wasn't like as involved. You know, we did like a maternity plan and whatnot. I'm talking about when you're playing full out. What does full out look like for you? That's something that you can think about and something you can decide. So it doesn't matter if you don't have a college degree. It doesn't matter if you don't have whatever it is that you think you need to have, 1,000 followers, 5,000 followers on Instagram. If you don't have the ability to speak on camera, doesn't matter. Whatever it is that you think has to be there in order for you to like, you know, do this thing. I'm telling you, there are people who have had those same feelings and have gotten over it. Like, obviously, I kind of polluted that example because like getting on camera is something you can learn. Going to college isn't necessarily like required, but kind of like accidentally like messed that up. But you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is, at the bottom of the barrel, after all of it's said and done, you have the potential to do this. You just have to decide to do it. So thank you guys so much for joining me. Special thanks to Avalon for sleeping like a total. I mean, can you even get over though this hair? Like, what in the world? Like, I just think it's a mullet. I know it's a mullet. Okay, I know it's a mullet, but it is so cute. And gosh, I'm just so thankful for her. On my Instagram, I have I shared her first trimester and the first trimester story with her, and it was one of those things where it was like, I was not planning on this baby. Okay, like we were trying not to have baby, and so when I found out, tears were shed, mascara was stained down my eyes. But now I'm just like, oh my gosh, she's been such a greatest gift. And isn't that the way it always is? We get what we need, not what we want. We get, and what we actually truly want is what we get. Like, I'm just like, thank you for this opportunity to experience it all. This life is magical. We've already won, my friends. You don't have to get to diamond to win. This is huge. You do not have to get to diamond to win at life. You are a human being who's experiencing life right now. Like, what? You're more than a human being. You are experiencing life right now. Every single thing we have right now is extra. Every enrollment that comes in our team, not, oh, is it as good as last month? No, that's extra. That wasn't earned, or that wasn't like required. That wasn't like owed to us. That is extra. Being able to take a breath in and out is extra. Being able to hold my baby is extra. I hope you feel that. The gratitude is where OGV likes to hang out. Gratitude and that feeling of like abundance, that's where things just come. It's like magnets. Okay, I'm talking way too much. I'm going to let you guys go. Have a great rest of your 12 days of diamonds. And I hope to see you over on Instagram. Okay, bye guys.